So, my first dating experience in college was a rather weird one. There was this girl that, we had some sort of romantic interest for each other, and then it quickly evolved into borderline stalking, and it could have went real bad if it kept going. So, welcome to a new video where I'm talking about weird relationships, stalkers, and how putting up barriers is definitely a good thing. So let me begin from the very start. So I was at this social night, and it was like a card game night, and so on my way out, this girl says that she likes my shirt. I was wearing a Blink-182 shirt, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, are you a fan? Like, do you listen? She's like, no, I have no idea what band that is. I just thought it was cool. I was like, okay, well, thanks, I guess. Anyway, I'm leaving, and so she asked for my snap, and then was just like spouting information, right? And I thought she was just like nervous because some people do that, or she was just a yapper because some people just like to talk. And so I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, well, here's my snap, talk to you later. I didn't think much of it. And so she would text me and be like, hey, you want to hang out? When's your class is done? That sort of thing, right? And so I was kind of entertaining it because, like, she wasn't bad looking. She was kind of like nerdy, I guess. But that's beside the point. So I was kind of like just going along with it, and we'd hang out every so often, and I think like once or twice we hung out. So exactly a week after she got my snap, she was following me around, and she wanted to know if she could hang out in one of my classes because she didn't have a class. I was like, yeah, that's fine. You just have to be quiet because it's a lecture. If you want to just hang out at the back with me, and I guess that's fine. I wasn't sure why she wanted to. So anyway, we're sitting in class, and I have my computer open, and I'm writing down notes, and she's just like talking, right? She's like, oh my gosh, your handwriting is so cool, blah blah blah. Like, this is computer class is so neat and that sort of thing. And then she goes, so if you like someone, how would you tell them that? And I was like, well, if you like someone, just straight up say it. Like, there's no point in dancing around the subject. Just like tell them that. I thought she was talking about someone else, and I was like, thank God it's not me, because at this point I was kind of getting some red flags. And so I was hoping that it was someone else that she was talking about, and she just wanted my advice. And so, come break time in between the two lessons, she goes, "Hey, can I talk to you in the hallway?" I was like, "Oh fuck!" She's gonna confess her feelings in like a romance anime sort of way. That's exactly what happened. She was saying how she was like, "Oh, this is so hard. Oh, I have feelings for you." And in a nutshell, I kind of just said I wasn't ready for a relationship, and I let her down easy. I didn't have the heart to do any other way. And so that's where I left it. But she wasn't really receptive of that. So the day after, I get to school, and she says she has a gift for me, right? And I thought she was gonna just like pretty much ghost me at this point after I said no. And so previously she wanted to take a picture for my contact on my phone number, because she got my phone number, and so she wanted to have a picture. I was like, okay, sure. So she took like 2 or 3 pictures. I looked horrible in it because it was like first thing in the morning, and I was barely awake. And so she takes these pictures. I didn't think much of it. So she says she has a gift for me, and this gift is the pictures printed out. I was like, oh, that's great. Thank you. And I was like, well, don't you want them? Because they're just gonna sit in my bag. Like, I'll give these back to you. I was just trying to get rid of them more or less. And she's like, no, no, no. I printed out ones for me too. So these ones are for you. That was my big red flag. I was like, holy shit, dude, that is mess. That's weird. No. And this was like, keep in mind, 8 days after initially meeting each other, and after I said no to a real relationship. And so I didn't think much of it. And so I kind of went along my business. And every single time I'd be outside of class, I'd be beelining it for the exit, and then she would find me and then just start talking. And she was one of those people that, like, I would sit there silently doing homework or something, and she would just be yapping. And so it got to a point where the first thing I got to was, I was like, I understand that you want a relationship, but like, I just can't give you that. Because she was saying stuff like, oh, if we were together now, like, we'd be picking Christmas movies at Christmas time. Or like, can I post a picture of you and like refer to you as like my best friend or just friends? And I was like, okay, this is a little too much right now. So I told her that. And she's like, yeah, no, I understand. We're just friends. So it's cool. And I didn't like that because she was kind of like pushing it onto the rug. And so the next days, because throughout this time, she kept trying to get me to come over to her apartment. And I kept saying no, because that is a red flag if there ever was one. I wasn't I wasn't about to go over to this random girl's apartment alone, by the way. So the breaking point came one day. It was probably about 9 or 10 days after initially meeting. And she snuck Fireball, which is what is it? It's an alcoholic drink. I think it's like a liquor. I don't know what it's called, but it's alcohol. She snuck that onto the campus. We're not allowed alcohol, obviously, because it's a college. And she was trying to get me to drink it. And I'm like, no, I'm driving. I have to drive home. And that is a big no-no. Like, I'm fine drinking, but as soon as it's drinking and driving, that's endangering other people. And I don't stand for that. She's like, no, it's fine. Like just a little bit. I'm like, okay, stop. This is getting concerning. Like, she was trying to get me to come over to her apartment to drink. She said she had more there. And I felt like she was trying to lure me in, like, candy in a white van sort of thing. And she was sitting beside me. And I go, look, this is making me uncomfortable. I said, I understand you want a relationship, but I feel like ever since I said no, you didn't take that as no, and you keep trying to push me into a relationship. I said, I'm trying to be nice here, but you're making me personally uncomfortable, and that's not cool. And she kind of received that, and she got the message, and we haven't talked much since. It's been just in passing, but nothing major, and so I think that really set it in stone. So the lesson of this is that it's okay to set up boundaries. If you're uncomfortable with someone, or if they're making you uncomfortable, it's okay to say no and to push them away. Maybe not physically, but you know what I mean. I was trying to be the nice person and, be the bigger person and give her an ear and that sort of thing. But it's sometimes, you can't always do the right thing and save yourself too. I also forgot to mention, she found my Spotify, which is weird because she only had my Snapchat. So anyway, she was finding my other socials, and that was another red flag. But anyway, back to the lesson is that it is okay to, say no. If it's making you uncomfortable, I think that's the most important thing. Don't prioritize other people. Prioritize yourself sometimes. And don't feel bad for doing that. So I hope you guys found some entertainment from this. I'm all good now, but it was kind of crazy at the moment. So take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.